Hey, what's up you guys, Caboose XBL, bringing another Batman Arkham Knight Q&A. Yes, the series is back, and it's been months since I've done my last Q&A, and I'm going to explain why. Now, in the last Q&A, it did very well. Lots of people watched it, lots of people really enjoyed it, got over 1,000 likes, and that was awesome. Then we moved on to the comments, which of course is the #1 thing about each Q&A, because that is where I go to look for the next Q&A. And I looked in the comments, and I promise you there were over 1,000 comments in the comment section of the last Q&A. And maybe 95, or I guess to be super accurate, maybe like 98% of the questions that I looked through, and I looked through almost every single one of them, was, do you think the Arkham Knight is this guy? Do you think the Arkham Knight is this person? Do you think the Arkham Knight is this guy because of this, this, and this? Do you think the Arkham Knight is that person because of this, this, and this? Do you think the Joker is going to come back? How do you think the Joker is going to come back? Do you think the Joker can come back because of the Lazarus Pit? Do you think the Joker can come back because the cure was switched in Batman's hands in the cutscene at the end of Arkham City? Do you think the Joker is not really dead? Do you think the Joker can come back as a hallucination? And maybe I'm annoying you by continuously listing off these questions that were just repetitive as hell, but I'm trying to give you guys perspective. I abandoned this Q&A series because these questions were the same thing every single week after week after week after week. I need you guys, if you want this series to continue, if you want this fun series, I enjoy doing these, but if you want it to continue, I need you guys to just think outside the box and really challenge yourself with the questions that you're going to ask. These 4 questions that I picked out here, they are bringing up some good theories, ideas, and possibilities within Arkham Knight that seem real. I saw a question on my Instagram that someone left where he went, in the Evening the Odds trailer for Batman Arkham Knight, Batman gets in a Batmobile. Do you think that's because he goes to go talk to Killer Croc and talk to him about Scarecrow? And honest to God, I was just dumbfounded as to how someone was willing to make that sort of connection to get a question to me. And it's so bizarre because none of those things have any connection towards each other. Batman gets in a Batmobile, therefore someone assumed that he went to go talk to Killer Croc. I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's not to discourage you guys, because I love reading through all the questions. I do. I really do. But sometimes it can get a little annoying to see people for the billionth time ask me who I think the Arkham Knight is. I don't know the answer. None of us do. So, challenge yourself with the questions and really think outside the box. With that said, let's start the Q&A. Starting off question #1, which comes from Baby Android Films, and he goes, question: we already know that there are going to be races you have to complete for the Riddler using the Batmobile. Of course, talking about in Batman Arkham Knight. In Arkham Origins, an obviously younger and less experienced Riddler was able to hack into Batman's Batwing navigation system using the radio towers. Do you think that possibly, after the last Riddler race, he might say he has gathered enough information on the Batmobile to hack it, leading to a boss battle against the Batmobile where you end up having to destroy it? Great videos, keep them coming. I almost choked on my spit reading that question. Towards the end of your question, I don't think we're going to ever, at a point, destroy the Batmobile in Batman Arkham Knight, because I think after we beat the game and it comes to free roaming, we want to use that to free roam around and stuff. However, the rest of your theory is very interesting, because yes, Riddler was very young in Arkham Origins, and he was able to accomplish so much against the Batman in that game. So while he's not at his peak anymore, I think he's surpassed his peak and he's kind of just aging at this point, he is still much more knowledgeable than he was in Arkham Origins, and he might even have the capability to do something like that with enough time on his hands. And it seems through the Riddler challenges that he's going to do with the Batmobile, he might have that time. And these challenges themselves, they might be just Riddler using his tools as an advantage to him and just tricking Batman into trying to complete these challenges when all in all he was just trying to take over the Batmobile. And how cool would it be that the #1 thing in your arsenal is against you? Like, what happens then? What do you have to do to stop the Batmobile from destroying you, you know? That would be an awesome boss battle. I think that would be really, really clever of Rocksteady to do, and I hope they do it because it would be hella fun, and I just said hella. So moving on to the next question, this comes from Twitter. As I said, you can now leave questions through Twitter and Instagram. Those links are in the description if you want to go follow me there. You can just comment on an Instagram picture or leave me a tweet of your question, and make sure before you leave your question or after you've left it that at one point you say hashtag Arkham Knight Q&A, right? With that said, let's read this Twitter question coming from Chris Comics. It says, here's when you can use, what do you think of Batman using explosives, guns, and destroying the city's architecture in the Batmobile? Now, I don't think that the Batmobile is really going to cause that much mayhem within Batman Arkham Knight's, like, Gotham City and everything. I don't think that you're going to be able to do anything that will have a major impact. Nothing that will be just game-changingly brutal. You know, you can't take down a building. You can just destroy certain pieces of architect. That's just not going to impact the city any more than it already is, with everyone evacuating due to a giant fierce toxin bomb possibly being dropped on it, you know? So I don't think that the Batmobile will be able to cause that much mayhem because you are controlling the Batmobile. You are the one driving it. And Rocksteady, of course, wants you to feel like Batman when you're doing so. They don't want you to be Red Hood driving this Batmobile around, shooting people and killing them and stuff, and destroying buildings. So I don't think there's anything that you can do that will be very impactful. I think Batman using explosives and just the guns and stuff that he's using is all for non-lethal purposes, and we should know that. I'm sure we should just automatically assume that because he's Batman and he doesn't kill people, alright? Okay. Moving on to the next question coming from Michael Mann, and he says, Caboose, do you think that Bane and Scarecrow could be working together? In Arkham Asylum, they were both last seen in water, so maybe Bane found him and stitched him up. Then, for whatever reason, they decided to hunt Titan, as we saw when Scarecrow took some from the river, and when Bane tried to round up the rest in Arkham City. Do you think they could be working together? Actually, yes, I do think they could be working together. Obviously, one, because of the fact that in Arkham Knight, all the villains are actually technically working together to take down Batman. And I think Bane will be among that rogues gallery that's working together to take him down. And the way you bring up your theory, it does make sense, because in Arkham City, suspiciously, Bane is just trying to round up a bunch of Titan, you know, as if he doesn't have enough and stuff. And we destroy it, of course. But yeah, it's just very weird. And one thing that I do hope is that if he's working with Scarecrow, I just hope that Bane has gotten a little more sophisticated, because one gripe that I've had with the Arkham series is the way they handled Bane, except for Arkham Origins, of course. The way they handled Bane in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, I don't agree with the Bane that's just a bumbling idiot who runs into walls. You know, I love Bane. Bane is one of my favorite Batman villains. Might even be my favorite Batman villain. But what I love about Bane is that he's so smart, and he's just both mentally and physically better than Batman in almost every single way. You know, it takes a lot for Batman to beat Bane, because not only is he incredibly strong and can overpower Batman, but he's smart, and he knows how to maneuver, and he knows how to think beyond, let me just run at Batman and hopefully kill him because he's totally not going to dodge. You know, I like the sophisticated Bane, so I do hope he's working with Scarecrow, and I do hope that he's gotten a little smarter since Arkham City or Arkham Asylum. So thank you for the question, Michael Mann. And moving on to the last question, which comes from MitoMen2000. He says, question, Caboose, aren't you worried that the fear takedowns will be overpowered? They look awesome for sure, but I don't like Rocksteady's explanation that 3 armed guys can't shoot Batman just because they crap their pants. Also, I love to approach armed guys in the previous games because it was a challenge. You needed to plan ahead, or you needed to use your gadgets to be successful. Now it seems like you can just always use the fear takedowns without even thinking about the approach. If you reply, thanks, love your videos. Thank you very much, MitoMen2000, and your question's kind of been answered since then, but I wanted to publicize this a little more and let a lot of people know that the fear takedowns are not overpowered, and that like the silent or sort of predator stuff overall has not just become easy. To earn a fear takedown, you have to do a group of silent takedowns, and it builds up this meter that allows you to use your fear takedown. I'm pretty sure that you can only use your fear takedown once, and then you have to rebuild the meter again, which is good, and it's balanced, because yes, you get this really overpowered move, but you have to earn it before you can use it. You can't just use it whenever you want, and that's good. So I know your question's probably already been answered before, but I thought that maybe I'd just answer it here to let everybody know what's the deal with fear takedowns. So that is all the questions that I have for today. Please make sure to leave challenging and great questions in the comment section below, as well as my Twitter and Instagram that you can follow me on. Those are in the links in the description below. I'm CaboosXBL. My voice is really tired right now, and I'm going to cough like hell after this commentary. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.